So in this video, we're going to talk about converting dissimilar to similar fractions. For example, we have this convert into similar fractions. So these two fractions are what you call dissimilar fractions. It's because of their denominators, which is the one at the bottom. It has to be the same to make it similar. If it's not the same, so they are dissimilar fractions. So it doesn't matter whether the top are the same or not, as long as the bottom or the denominators are the same. So to learn how to convert it into similar fractions, at this point you should have mastered the multiplication table. So you should be um, good with that already to figure out how to change this into a similar values. So to make it the same, observe that the 6 is just a multiple of 3. So we just simply change this 3 into 6. So how do we do that? We multiply it by a number to make it 6. So to make it 6, we multiply it by 2. So this is what I'm talking about. You have to be mastered already with the multiplication table. So whatever you do at the bottom, you should do the same on top. So if you times this with 2, you do the same on top. So you have 2 times 2 is 4 and 3 times 2 is 6. So as I said, whatever happens to the top, um, it doesn't matter as long as the bottom should be the same to make it similar fractions. So since it's already over 6, then they are now similar fractions. So basically this is still the 2/3, it's just changing its form into 4/6, but they are the same. This is still 2/3, and I just make it similar fractions. And like another one, 2/5 and 7/15, so they are dissimilar fractions. So how to make it similar fractions? So we just simply change this 5 into 15 because 15 is just a multiple of 5. All right, so what do we multiply to make it 15? So we just simply multiply it by 3 to make it 15 and do the same on top. It will be 2 times 3 is 6 and 5 times 3 is 15. So now it's the same. Basically, this 2/5 is just the same as 6 over 15. We just change its form so that they become similar fractions. All right, so these two are now similar fractions. Another one, we have 2/5 and 3/4. So 5 is not a multiple of 4, and 4 also is not a multiple of 5. So we cannot just simply multiply one of those denominators to make it the same. So how to make these two similar into similar fractions? So you have to find a common number. We have to look at what are the multiples of 5 and 4 and find where they meet halfway. So these are the multiples of 5. We have 5, 10, 15, 20. So basically it's just adding 5 and to get all the multiples of 5. And then the multiples of 4 are this, so just simply adding 4 to get the next one. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So these are what you call multiples of 4 and multiples of 5. And you're gonna figure out which is, of course, there are infinitely many common multiples of 5 and 4, but what's the least? So the least common multiple of 5 and 4 is the 20. So if you change this into 20, that's what you call now least common denominator. But here in the multiples, you call it least common multiple. So so this means that we are going to change this into 20. So we're going to start with the 2/5. So to make it 20, we're going to multiply it with 4 because 5 times 4 is 20 and do the same on top. So it will be 8, 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 4 is 20. So the 2/5 and 8/20s, 8 over 20 is just the same. They are in the same fraction, it's just different form. All right, so for the 3/4, so to make this into 20, you multiply it by 5 and do the same on top. So it will be 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 5 is 20. And so this is now similar fractions. How about if there are multiple fractions, like 3 or more fraction? So how do we make it into similar fraction? So we're gonna get all the multiples of those denominators, like 5 for the 3, and for the 10. And observe that there are common multiples with just a pair of like 5 and 10. The least common multiple is 10, but there's no 10 in 3. And also, if you look at 5 and 3, they have least common multiple of 15, but there's no 15 in 10. So it should be all the three should have that multiple. So that's why it's called a common multiple, because it should be common in all the fractions given. So the least common multiple is 30. As I said, it's not only 30 that is common multiple. There are many common multiple like 60, 90, and so on. But the least or the smallest is 30. So we're going to use that. We're going to use 30 to make the similar fractions. So that means we're going to change all these three fractions denominator into 30. So how do we change this 5 into 30? We multiply it by 6 and do the same on top. So 4 times 6 is 24, 5 times 6 is 30. Now this 3, how do we change this into 30? We multiply it by 10. So, and then do the same here. 2 times 10 is 20, and 3 times 10 is 30. And then the 1/10, how do we change this into 30? We multiply it by 3. So, and then do the same on top. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 10 times 3 is 30. All right, so now they are similar fractions. It's important to learn this skill because there are many um, applications for this skill of converting dissimilar to similar fractions, especially when you want to compare fractions, because it's hard for you to compare if they don't have the same denominator. Unlike here, it's easier for you to know that the biggest fraction or value of these three fractions is this because it's 24. Compared to this is smaller, is 20, and the smallest is 3. Compared to having different denominators, it's hard for you to compare them. Also, you cannot add fractions with different denominators. You have to make it the same denominator before you can add it. So that's the last example. So I hope you have learned something from this video, and please subscribe to my channel.